Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and we're all in the studio today. It's very hot outside, and Matt, you have a hoodie on.
Yeah.
It's like between 6 and 8 inches from the midday sun. Somewhere between 6 and 8.
Is that a Chris Cornell song?
No, it's smooth.
Oh, okay.
A little different, yeah.
A little different.
No, it's there was a chance of rain, and I don't take chances. I'm a safe person.
Right, so if 1% chance, that's a chance you don't want to take.
I
He
don't wanna
doesn't
risk
want
it.
water on his head.
But as Neal has found out, it's not a 1% chance. It's a 1% chance in your area.
That's true, according to TikTok, where I learn everything now. So the algorithm has got me in its grasp.
It's just weather related.
It's all weather related.
Does Tom Skilling have a TikTok?
He should, where he's in bed getting up and he's like, it's going to rain today.
Did you get to meet him at WGN?
I didn't. No, he was out on assignment somewhere.
Tom Skilling is a famous weather reporter in the Chicago area, but I don't think he gets out to the other parts of the country.
WGN's a super
or
station.
Canada
Yeah,
or Australia.
I think he has a decent following.
Oh, yeah, definitely not in Australia.
No, he was on a barbecue doing something, talking about meat for some reason. I don't know why the weatherman was talking about barbecue.
That sounds very
That's
Australian.
Tom
He's a
Grilling,
Renaissance man.
actually.
He is a Renaissance man. But no, it was fun. Matt's referring to, I had a chance to be interviewed on WGN, our local news station here, which was a lot of fun. And I learned that TV production, which I knew a little bit about, and Ken knows that they got me in and out of there in like 20 minutes. I don't even remember what happened, so I blacked out.
You look down too much.
I did. That's what one person said on my Facebook post. If I may, I think you look down too much.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
You got to keep your head up, Neal.
Yeah.
You're doing okay.
Don't feel bad about it.
My head up's
It's a good
not up
book.
now.
It's a good book.
Well, thank you. So I'm just gonna, cry myself to sleep after that comment. But
Wonderful.
thank you for your support.
That's what we do all to your mean comments, too. When you leave us bad reviews,
Yeah.
just cry.
Well, you just look at it all day, and you're like, what do I do with my life now after this comment?
We
Talk
used
to your
to.
therapist about it.
Yeah,
Jeff was really sad we got a really bad one once.
we did. Yeah, we did get it. Well, we've gotten several.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even
that's okay.
remember it, honestly.
Oh,
That's
what a
all right.
shame.
Sticks and stones, that whole phrase.
He's repressing it.
Podcast bones. Or
We
whatever.
repress the bad reviews.
Yes. But speaking of books, we have we're going to start with our guest today. We have a very special guest. She helped me out with my book and just being a huge support system as I was getting to know the publishing world. She has a wonderful book called Men to Avoid in Art and Life, which is a hilarious book that you should check out. It's in stores now. She has a brand new one coming out, Friends to Keep in Art and Life. She's coming to us from Detroit, and that is Nicole Tersigni. How are you, Nicole?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Doing awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself for listeners who may not know, and then also about the two books that they should pre-order right now.
A little about myself. I live in Detroit. I have an 11-year-old daughter. She keeps me busy, and in my spare time, I make little humor books. Men to Avoid in Art and Life is about tiresome men that we should avoid in art and life.
Yeah, I was looking at it a bit, and it's like funny little quips over classic works of art, right?
Yep. So it pairs a classic painting with a little modern text. And my new book is the same. It's called Friends to Keep in Art and Life. And it's about the types of friends that get us through all the... Are we allowed to... We can swear.
Yeah, I'll bleep it.
Yeah.
Say whatever
Swear
you
as
want.
much as you want. Do the Detroit, whatever
Great.
Yeah,
Detroit slang is.
make Ken work.
Yeah.
Not too
Okay,
much, though.
good.
Not too
Great.
much.
And
Yeah.
As I was thumbing through the book, I was shocked at how many disinterested women or exasperated women are in these Renaissance paintings. It's great.
Isn't that wild? They just are deadpan
Just
right
please,
at the camera.
please
Yeah.
stop talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool to see all these men have painted these women just clearly disinterested in what is being said to them. You're like, oh, okay.
Well, you
What were
pay what you know, right? That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, since we're teaming up today, we had a great idea of a team name, and it should be Men to Avoid on this podcast, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, which is probably all of us.
Yeah.
just
So,
be-
and speaking of Nicole's books, you can find them at all your favorite bookstores. If you want to pre-order her new book, Friends to Keep in Art and Life, go to bookshop.org, which is a great source to help indie bookstores or anywhere else you'd like to order it. And you also go to your website too, I believe, right?
Right. I think that's just NicoleTersigni.com.
Great, and that's
50%
Tersigni.
Tersigni, yeah.
Awesome. And as we said earlier before we started recording, the G is silent, like all good G's.
Mm-hmm.
G is silent.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure to check all of that out. We're excited to read the new book. And our host today is coming to us from St. Petersburg, Florida. She is a savage superstar on Patreon. Anne Putnam, how are you, Anne?
Ahoy, hoy. Good morning, everybody.
Well, we're excited to have you. You came rocking right away with your Dr. Teeth Muppet T-shirt, which was exciting.
I did. I host local trivia around here for the Tampa Bay Dream Team, and my host name is Animal, so I'm a big Muppets fan. And apparently I only own clothes that also advertise the Muppets.
That's okay. Now, have you ever dressed as a Muppet for Halloween or anything like that?
No, I weirdly have a crocheted Ewok outfit, though, which
That's
now
awesome.
I wish I didn't admit out loud.
Like a
Because you're
full
gonna make
outfit?
me
Like a
go
full
get
body?
it. It's the hood with the ears,
Oh, wow.
and then Wicket's like orange thing that goes down his carapace. What is that called?
His pelt.
His
Yeah,
ascot.
I'm not an expert in Ewok fashion, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, but it is. I don't know how we got on that topic from my lack of Muppet
That's okay.
costumes.
We'll talk
But
about
yeah,
the Michael
I should
Kors
get a
of Ewok
giant,
fashion later.
So you host trivia, right? That's what we're doing here?
I do. St. Petersburg is our main hub. I'm barely alive from Game 7 of the Lightning versus the Maple Leafs last night, so I'm hoping that when this airs, that statement does not age horribly. So, go Bolts! Here,
Yeah, well, it is the
continue.
Maple Leafs, so I think you're safe.
Yeah, so they're done. But now we're playing the Panthers, so it'll be a states that don't deserve to have hockey teams competition.
Yeah, the classic all Florida championship rounds.
Well, thank you for not only being a Patreon supporter, but for bringing us today's game. We're excited.
You're welcome. Happy to be there.
And speaking of Patreon, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we just passed 450 patrons.
Wow.
We did
yesterday.
know that. Yes.
Were we
Yeah.
just struggling with 400?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we were struggling with 400. We're struggling with 50, to be honest, for the first year or two.
Just a lot of struggling.
A lot of
We were
struggling.
struggling
over
with
here.
one for the first year.
I think it's because
Don't
Neal's
everyone,
mom.
No, I don't mean we were struggling. I mean we were struggling to get it over
to
that
get it over the
mark.
hump.
Yeah.
So now we're over that 450 hump, and we're on our way, hopefully, to 500, which would be the dream, at least the early dream.
Until
first
we
dream.
make 1,000, the dream.
Right.
Yeah, we'll just keep pushing the dream back.
Yeah.
We have that stretch goal on there.
Do we?
You had me at the free stickers, really.
Oh,
So
well, good. And
I'll
I
just
think you ordered
throw money.
one of the rare Dutch Boy posters.
I did. Well, before I ordered it, I had gone in the back catalog because I'm like, what is this Dutch Boy thing?
Now
I
we
had to
know.
go back quite a
think it
ways
started
to
on
try and
episode
figure
4.
out. And then, I mean, once Dutch Boy really started entering in a lot of the episodes and making his cameo appearances, I was like, okay, I have to.
Well,
get to
this will
keep
just be
calling
kind of
Dutch
fun
Boy.
really quick because we're about to start here. But Nicole probably has no idea what you're talking about. So in your words, what is Dutch Boy? To explain.
Well, to me, from what I understand, it's weird how much Dutch culture or questions seem to come up throughout the show. And anytime anything that could possibly have Neal do a Dutch accent, it comes in. And it's like, it's kind of a mix between like Uter from The Simpsons and then just Neal being really tired, I
Yeah.
think, is just like, oh, I want chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happens.
It's not so much what is Dutch Boy, but why is Dutch
Why is
Boy?
that right? Yeah. So that about sums it up.
But it's not Neal doing an accent.
Oh,
We
yeah, it's an
have
actual Dutch
Right.
a
Boy.
Dutch person.
There is a
come in.
small Dutch
Yes,
man.
there is a real Dutch. Yes, that's true.
He lives in one of those pod apartments in the corner.
Yeah, he's not actually a boy.
He just-
He's
I'm
a
so
man
sorry.
with a boy's like
boy's voice.
a boy's voice and
Right.
mind.
It's so
and
hard
heart.
on the podcast. I assumed it was Neal. Little did I know.
It's like those Icelandic fairies.
If you can imagine a grown man with the facial hair of a 12-year-old,
Yeah.
that's usually what it is.
Which is weird because that looks a lot like Neal.
Very true. All right, well, Matt, you and I are going to team today. What do you want to call ourselves?
I think, based off of your media appearances lately, we're going to be local celebrity Neal Fisher and his friend.
All right, that sounds good. And Matt, speaking of being Patrick Swayze, which Anne showed us a copy of when she got on the recording, so get it where all books are sold, and hopefully they'll let me do another one if you keep buying and reviewing and all that good stuff. So thank you to everyone who's done it so far. I really appreciate it.
And again, we will be men to avoid on this podcast. And the real man to avoid on this podcast is Ken McNeil. He's a real bastard. We
Yeah.
hear.
Well, let's hear the rules read from Ken McNeil.
All right.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Remaster crap.
Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know, Ken McNeil is what a lot of people hear when the announcer man says Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff.
Yeah,
Which is weird because to me it's
Ken
like
McNeil.
there's
He
literally
doesn't
an
exist.
hour in between each of your names. Like the chasm is so long.
Ken, Matt, Ken McNeil.
Ken McNeil, obviously.
I don't know who he is.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only one to hear that.
Oh, were you as
There's
well?
like
Yeah.
40
Oh, no, it's
times.
huge.
Absolutely.
Ken
I was
McNeil's
like,
a
wait,
handsome
there's 4 of
man.
them?
I think he's a
should-
composite. of all
Maybe we
three of
can
us.
someone out there do some search and find someone actually named Ken McNeil? We'll invite him on
Ken
the show.
McNeil is all the best parts of the 3 of us squished together, and then also Jeff,
Some sort of super.
who doesn't have a last name.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, let's get to the game.
Yeah, let's throw it to Anne.
We've been having so much fun.
Lovely. Well, I mean, let's get started. And on the note of men to avoid in art and life, I'm going to start off with a Michael Jackson question. My categories are sometimes going to include hints, so I'll just throw that out there. You guys were recently talking about Moonwalker, the video game, and this inspired me to write this question because I loved that video game. From 1986 to 1998, Disney Parks showed a 17-minute 4D film starring Michael Jackson called Captain EO. The $29 million production had the godfather of pop and his ragtag crew of space puppets delivering the gift of music to a world of garbage people who Jackson can magically transform into trained backup dancers. But I digress. The question is, who directed and co-wrote this masterpiece during a period of the 1980s when some would say he was desperate to pay off his debts?
I think a light bulb just shattered in Neil's head, so I think we got this.
That's going to be on the next episode.
Oh, yeah. Matt is doing a future reference. So
Also,
stay
that was
tuned,
just, it was
listeners.
just a good joke.
Stay tuned.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Gee, I don't know. Puppets. Think Jim Henson. She's wearing a Muppet shirt.
What about who directed The Godfather? Francis Ford Coppola.
Mhm.
Did he have done that? Because she did say The Godfather in the question.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that really stupid? I genuinely am not sure.
His movies often do feel like a fever dream when you watch
Right?
them, so that makes sense. Yeah, we could go with Coppola.
Does that make sense as an answer?
Yeah.
Truly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coppola.
Should we go with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole,
Are
don't
you
don't
humoring me?
shortchange yourself. You are hilarious and very smart and have a wonderful book out. We also said Francis Ford Coppola.
Did you?
That is your correct answer. The Godfather of Pop was your clue. He lost $26 million on his musical fantasy One from the Heart in 1982. And he basically took anything that came across his plate for the next 15 years.
That
Although The
explains it.
Outsiders is a good movie. But Captain EO was directed by Francis Ford Coppola and co-written by George Lucas. That's all the puppets in there. That was his contribution. Your second question, the category is The Scarlet Witch. The Crucible by Arthur Miller was a 1953 play and partially fictionalized retelling of the Salem witch trials. Miller wrote this play as an allegory for what controversial practice or term for the time period, which resulted in Miller later being questioned by the House of Representatives Committee on Un-American Activities. So I'm looking for that practice or term for the time period that he was currently living in.
We can lock in on this one, if you're okay with it. I'm positive.
Neal, you have ideas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know Ken loves this play. I'm pretty sure that this was McCarthyism during the time when McCarthy was doing blacklisting and the Red Scare, all that kind of stuff. But McCarthyism is, I guess, would be a good enough answer if you feel good with that.
Is that from the time period it was written?
Yeah, about the trials of
Okay.
the.
I thought it was much older, but we can go with McCarthyism.
And I thought the same thing. I was thinking blacklisting or Red Scare would be a good answer. So
Your 1953 play was in the middle of Red Scare and communism, and the term for the time period was McCarthyism. I'll also accept blacklisting. That's absolutely valid. Anne Putnam, little Annie Putnam in The Crucible, accused 62 people of being witches in the trials, where 17 were executed. So when we read that book in high school, my life was awesome.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know that feeling because when the Amy Fisher trial came out, everyone thought I was related to her, and that was a bad time as well.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there since we're all doing it. Never have I felt more connected to the phrase at the end of a movie that says this is not based on real people than when I watched Hard Candy. So we're just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So look that one up.
Immediately researches. Your number 3 question. No opioids at this college. What public university, the founding member of the Big Ten, can boast the achievement of being the alma mater of the first and last person to walk on the moon? And I'll give you a bonus 5 points if you can give me the name of the last person to walk on the moon, specifically the final member to get back on Apollo 17.
Okay. We'll
we don't know that, right?
Yeah, we don't. I don't know
Yeah,
that
Buzz
one.
Lightyear. Okay,
Yeah,
moving on.
We'll lock in with the college though.
I really don't have any idea. I think Neil Armstrong was from Indiana, maybe Ohio. That's as far as I can get.
Somewhere.
Purdue?
The
Purdue
Midwest.
Big Ten?
Purdue, is that what you said?
Is that Big Ten?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Boilermakers.
Let's say Purdue. How about it?
That sounds great. That sounds like a really good answer.
And
I
for the
love it.
last person, we'll say John Glenn because we
Oh.
also don't know.
Okay, let's do it.
Matt had an idea right away, which I thought made sense regarding Neil Armstrong. We believe he's from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you say, Matt?
I think that the Big Ten school from Ohio is Ohio State, the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and we locked in with Buzz Lightyear, but as played by Chris Evans, which is the real version that the toy is based on that Tim Allen played in Toy Story.
And Tim Allen, known for his opiates.
Right.
Right.
Weirdly enough, you got the bonus. But no opioids at this college. The founding member of the Big Ten and actually boasting 27 astronauts. That is Purdue.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Good job.
You didn't even know it was in the
Is
Big Ten.
Purdue. And the last person to walk on the moon, his name is Gene Cernan. C-R-N-A-N.
Gene Cernan.
From Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually grew up
It's pronounced Illinois, though.
about 10 miles from where
That
we
actually
are.
makes sense kind of with Purdue. There are a lot of engineers over there, so it makes sense a lot of astronauts would come from there.
I thought they were still making boilers. What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
That just Pete. Pete's the only one still making boilers.
Great mascot.
Your number 4 question is LDS sound system. Which U.S. state capital, which is also the largest city in their respective state, is the last state capital when listed alphabetically? So it has to be a state capital and the largest city in their state is listed last alphabetically.
So I thought maybe with the clue in the title that it could be this state, but you were saying that there's some other capitals after that alphabetically.
Yeah, but after hearing that it's the largest, we're going to lock in with this.
Okay. All right, we're locked in.
Okay. Well, I was thinking maybe Salt Lake City. What are your thoughts?
I don't have many thoughts on this question, to be honest. That's a pretty good guess, and it fits a lot of the clues. As long as you can't think of any, like, W capitals, then I'm good with it.
Okay. I can't think of many capitals at all, to be
Okay,
honest.
let's go with Salt Lake City.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, Neal had written down Salt Lake City, and I was insistent that Tallahassee is after S, but that is not the biggest city in Florida.
Yeah, and,
By a
and
lot.
the only reason I wrote down Salt Lake City was the LDS sound system of
Yeah.
Church of Latter-day Saints. So that's where I got the clue from. So that's why we locked in with it as well.
I originally had a clue from the Book of Mormon, but my play testers thought it was too deep of a cut a bit. But so Latter-day Saints is indeed your clue here. Largest city in their respective state and last alphabetically is Salt Lake City. So number 5, your listener submitted question is from my friend Josh Cobert, who used to play on the trivia team Kitten Mittens with me. His category, Field of Broken Dreams, for 5 points each. Name any of the 8 players banned from baseball because of the 1919 Black Sox scandal. I will also award 5 points if you can give me the Hafthor Bjornsson of a man who banned them and served as the first ever commissioner of the MLB.
No.
The man who had
A problem with his...
he needed a
Attire.
podiatrist.
yeah.
I knew where you were going with that.
Yeah, I can't. The other people, I don't know any of. I'm a Cubs fan. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyone
right.
from
It's
the
all
White
it's
Sox.
just like lefty Lewis. And,
Oh, yeah.
and Rolly Arms or whatever. It's those
Raleigh
kind of people.
Fingers?
Raleigh Fingers. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll just lock in with one answer and get 1 point. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking since we don't know this, we could just take a couple lucky guesses and say like Jackson, which I think we know, Johnson, Lucky Johnson, and then like Ronald McDonald. How about that?
How many guesses do we get?
Those are two last names. Well, she said as many of the 8 as you can name, right?
It's funny that you should go with
So
Ronald
we'll just
McDonald
take those 4 guesses.
when she was talking about kitten mittens. But
Yeah, so we went with our answers as Shoeless Joe Jackson and Time Traveling Pete Rose.
Yeah. And then we said Howard Johnson,
Howard Johnson.
Worthington,
Howard Hotel chain?
Johnson.
Perkins,
Yeah.
Waffle House, and Castle.
Rudiger Smith.
Nice. Pete Rose should be included because he needs to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. So I am okay with that answer. But yes, there are 8 players that were all played fabulously in Field of Genes. There is Arnold Chick Gandil, Eddie Sacote, Oscar Happy Felsh, Shoeless Joe Jackson. So both of you got that. Fred McMullen, Charles Swede Riceberg, George Buck Weaver. I think George Weaver might have been the one that some people would get otherwise. Claude Lefty Williams. So Lefty was one of them. And there was in 9th band, Joe Gideon from the St. Louis Browns, who found out about the fix. He bet on it. And then he's the one that actually told the commissioner and got everybody in trouble, including himself afterwards. And Kennesaw Mountain Landis was your first commissioner of Major League Baseball. Legit on his birth certificate, his name is Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
yeah, because Hafthor Bjornsson plays the mountain on
Yep.
Game of Thrones.
So 5 points each for Shoeless Joe Jackson.
All right, so after 5 questions with a slight lead of 45 to 35, the tables go to men to avoid. Unfortunately, Neal Fisher and his friend have just a little bit of catching up to do, but it's only a 1-question gap.
Your number 6 question. When I first started hosting trivia, I did a lot of questions related to The Simpsons and things that I learned from that show and not from school. And I haven't done them for like 2 years now, so it's nice to go back into the vault and do some throwback Simpsons Academia questions. What first aid procedure first recommended in 1985 and now only encouraged as a last resort? Did 10-year-old Chris Bennis claim he learned from The Simpsons after using it to save his brother's life? Only a robot has actually performed this procedure on the show. Instead, Chris learned it from a PSA poster on the wall in the nuclear power plant.
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay. All right. We're gonna lock in with an answer.
All right. Any initial thoughts on this one?
No.
Okay. My initial thought was the Heimlich maneuver.
Oh my God, no, I'm lying. I did actually write that down and circle it, and then I thought that was a weird answer, so I didn't say it.
I don't think
There's
it's-
no wrong answers on the show. You just say what you think, and maybe it's the right answer.
There's
I
no,
did- I
there's
did
no
hear-
wrong answers, just incorrect
I
ones.
did hear that the Heimlich was a little bit out of fashion, so maybe we should go with that.
Yeah, I was also thinking the chest compression thing, because I feel like that's very risky now. They say not to do that so
Oh,
much
really?
either, but I think Heimlich might be better.
Oh, no, just do chest compressions. Even if you break a rib, just keep
You
going.
have to do it to How Deep Is Your Love, right? How deep is your love? How deep is...
No, I'm kind of eccentric. I want to do it in 11/4 time, so I do it to Outkast's Hey Ya.
Yeah.
All right, we said Heimlich.
Yeah.
We had nothing better. I thought maybe it was stop, drop, and roll. That seems like that's not the best way to do that, but who knows? We ended up saying the Heimlich maneuver.
Go with your gut, Nicole. You're doing it. So Simpsons Academia, he learned the Heimlich from a poster of a guy that kind of looks like a guy giving a Heimlich to another guy, and a lobster is just like flying out of his mouth. So it's doing the procedure, and the procedure has only been done by a robot on the show. Otherwise, the chest compressions actually was performed by Homer on Moe, and he did it to How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees instead of the actual Staying Alive, the tempo they want you to do. And it's a hysterical bit on that one. Your number 7 question is a lyrics question. The category is Dancing on the Sand. I will give you the lyrics of a song that hit number 14 on the U.S. charts in 1982. You need to give me the title of the song. I've seen you on the beach, and I've seen you on TV. 2 of a billion stars, it means so much to me.
It's got to be one of these two.
It has to be one of those.
Well,
two?
maybe.
There's
I don't
only
know.
2 options, Neal.
No, that's way later.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then. I was not in the malls when
But
they
Neal,
performed.
how can you be wrong? You just
1982.
declared it has to be one of these 2.
Well, Anne said go with your gut, so I'm being very,
Yeah.
Gutley.
very Gutley. Hey everyone, it's Dick Gutley coming to you from live from WCX9.
Today, folks.
You stuck in traffic? Well, I got something for you. I wish there was a better noise, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
New character.
New character.
He sucks. Get
He's
him out of here.
really bad. He's going to get canceled in 2010 for something he said in
Oh, Dick
1987.
Gutley? Yeah.
Dick Gutley, he's gone.
Too many trench coats.
Oh my
That's
god.
his problem.
It's Trench Coats Thursday. Everyone know what's inside.
I don't care. I think
I don't know any songs by
Hate
here though.
Dick Gutley. But I hope he comes back on another episode.
I don't know
what is the song?
you
I
just
can't
hate
remember
listening
their
to
hit
Dick
song.
Gutley.
I got one. I got it. It's not the right answer, but I got a song.
It did reach number 14 in the US, but it did significantly better on other charts, not necessarily in the United States.
Ooh.
Oh, that actually might change it,
The
but
Germans loved
Is
it.
this Enter Sandman? I don't think so.
That's too early. Right? That was later, right?
You know, that
Saw
number
you
1
on the
Australian
beach,
hit, Enter
yeah.
Sandman.
I have no idea. Do you want to just go with this random song?
I wanted to hear
Yeah.
you talking about the
I
stars.
want to go with the random song.
I just want. Okay, we're locked in.
That Paris Hilton
All
one
right.
about the stars?
After all that, do you have any idea?
Well, my first thought was because of the Dancing on the Sand, Rio by Duran Duran.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. It seems like that should have gone higher than 14. I love
No,
that.
that
song.
is an excellent guess because I was trying to place the dancing on the I was trying to place that hint and I couldn't, and that's what it is. So
Okay.
So I just put Tiffany and Debbie Gibson because I was like, they always had songs on the beach where they were walking out on the beach.
Yeah, but I think that's late 80s.
I think you're right, but I just put I think I'm alone now because maybe she was alone on the beach talking about 2 billion stars. So
I do love that song, but it is Rio by Duran Duran.
wow.
great
nice
poll.
grab.
All right.
Your number 8 question. Fortune and Glory, kid. The actor playing the husband Waymond in the recent masterpiece Everything Everywhere All at Once rose to fame as a child actor in the 1980s and was rarely seen in films since. Name his 2 most successful films released in 1984 and 1985 where he was part of an ensemble cast.
Oh. I know.
We're locked in.
So this is the person who played Short Round
Right.
in
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. So what's the
And-
second one?
Goonies, right? Was
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think so.
I think it's Goonies and Temple of Doom.
That
I
makes
think.
sense because I think Goonies was produced by the Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. So we're gonna say Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, and Goonies.
Yeah, we said Short Round, Temple of Doom, and he was Data. He had that belt thing that every kid wanted to fly across the yard. And we said Goonies.
He did.
That is true. The creator of the most obnoxious way to open your gate door is Data and Short Round, who kind of ruined Temple of Doom for me. But he stopped doing the lack of
'Cause why?
opportunity in the 90s. He was so loud. He just screamed, Dr. Jones!
No, I'm
Like,
saying
well, and
I'm
the
saying
female-
like why is he in the movie?
Oh yeah, they're both tough to watch in that movie sometimes. But he got a film degree from USC and was a stunt coordinator until he came back to Everything Everywhere All at Once, which if you
Which is
haven't
the
seen
best
it,
movie
is
of the year.
fantastic. It's very good.
Fantastic.
Number 9 question. Jake Roberts approved. What snake, sharing its name with a Rowan Atkinson sitcom where each season was set in a different era of British history, is the only venomous snake that can be found in the United Kingdom?
I have a pretty good idea on this one if you don't mind locking in.
No, go for it.
All right.
So I love British TV. I don't think I've ever actually seen this show though.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of snakes are also in the UK. You were in London. You see any snakes?
There's a lot of MPs.
Okay. That's helpful.
I haven't seen any snakes when I was there. I mean, I did fall into a moat, as Ken says, but I didn't see any snakes when I fell in.
Now, Jake
Except the
the
people that
snake,
didn't help me up.
Jake the Snake had a snake, and
He
that
did
was
have a
a
snake.
python, right?
It was a python.
Well, if it was Jake the Snake approved, maybe it's a python.
Yeah, maybe it's a specific type of python, but maybe we're okay just saying python.
I'm okay saying python.
Okay.
Python.
Python.
I think it's black adder.
Oh, we would have never got that.
Have you at least heard of that, Neal?
Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I just never seen that show.
The only venomous snake that can be found in the United Kingdom is an adder, and that TV show is Black Adder. Yes, I will accept either. They actually don't really kill anybody. They just make your arm really itchy.
Yeah.
But
They're
Rowan
a lot
Atkinson-
like
A fate worse than death.
they're a lot like North American snakes, except instead of apartment they say flat, and instead of truck they say lorry.
and they take the lift to get to there. Yeah,
It's funny. I thought Blackadder was about like a pirate. That's why I never watched it because I'm not a big pirate guy. But it makes sense.
And like when you fall down the apples and pears, you know.
Your number 10 question. Etna Brute, the long-running science fiction television series Doctor Who, featured the groovy debut of what decorative item in a 1968 episode? This item is still in production today.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll lock in.
I have no idea. I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't understand the clue.
I watched some Doctor Who. I don't understand the clue either. I only have one even kind of thought, and it doesn't really make sense, but the one of the doctors had that really colorful scarf.
That's what I was gonna say, just for lack of better answer.
Yeah.
She did say it's a groovy item.
The groovy item, yeah.
I think that's a big clue, but I don't know where it's pointing. So let's just say the scarf.
Okay,
The
great.
magnificent scarf.
Beautiful scarf.
I thought that initially as well. It's Tom Baker, Fourth Doctor. It's sort of his, for trivia purposes, if anyone ever asks about the Scarfed Doctor, it's number 4. But Matt came up with a really, logical answer that I thought made sense.
Yeah, I was thinking about something groovy that was decorative and probably the late 60s and 70s, still in production today. I know you could still buy a lava lamp. So we said...
Oh, and I just realized what the answer is. We're wrong. But
Great.
The clue, I missed the clue. She said groovy, which is what Matt Smith says when he puts on a fez. And Jeff actually said it. And I didn't even realize it, but it's fez, but we're wrong.
Groovy is more related to the time period. Etna is a volcano, and your answer is lava lamp.
I was so worried that we were wrong.
Lava
in your
lamp.
face, teammate who gave
So yeah,
me
they
points
had
too.
very futuristic looking vials in the background of a lot of the shots in 1968, and what powered the ship were these giant lava lamps. Basically, they're very cool looking. But it was just interesting to me that the first time a lava lamp was ever on TV was, of course, Doctor Who.
All right, so after the first 10 questions, Men to Avoid still has the lead with a score of 85 points, and Neal Fisher and his friend 65, so right behind. Still anyone's game.
Your swing round, gentlemen, we all like to laugh, clearly. It is a family show, but I have a reputation for giggling at things that people my age have no business giggling at because I'm secretly a 12-year-old boy. So I have 10 questions for you, and each of them will have an answer that may elicit a noise or childish titter, like the word titter. God, I can't even get through that. Number 1. Not located in Nicaragua, like Beavis may believe, what birthplace to the Incas contains Uros, Amantani, Tequile, Sorique, and Isla de la Luna? Number 2. What is the full name of the animal with excellent engineering and tech credentials? Some call him the mascot of MIT. Number 3. What is the only last name shared by 2 presidents that are not related? They were also both vice presidents and members of both houses of Congress. Number 4. In 2017, Adam West voiced Batman in the animated Batman vs. Two-Face. What Canadian living legend and NASA favorite voiced Two-Face? Number 5. Speaking of space, what is the term for a collection of stars that sits at the core of their home galaxy? In the case of our Milky Way, it's comprised of 10,000 stars and has the shape of a peanut. Number 6. Ginger Baker was the drummer and co-founder of what British rock band? Number 7. What Greek god was the son and husband of Gaia, birthing the first round of the Titans? He is associated with the Roman god Caelus or Caelus. Number 8. What French founder of the realist school of fiction portrayed the panorama of French society in a body of works known collectively as La Comédie Humaine? Number 9. What parent company, headquartered in Pennsylvania but founded in Mexico, owns many fresh bread companies like Sara Lee, Entenmann's, and Thomas? Number 10. What small fruit-bearing tree is native to South Asia and Asia-Pacific regions, even though its unofficial capital of the world is in St. Joseph, Florida?
All right, we're going to mull these over, and we'll be right back with our answers.
Sex. Now that we have your attention, we are back with the answers to the swing round. So let's get the questions one more time, and we will see how we did.
The theming of this is that all of them make me giggle because they're slightly immature answers. Although they're mature, I don't know, either way. Not located in Nicaragua, like Beavis may believe. What birthplace to the Incas contains Uros, Amintani, Taquile, Suriqui, and Isla de la Luna?
Yep, the most immature answer we could come up with was Titicaca.
Oh, that's totally right. We just kept saying Cornholio because of his speech. So we just said maybe there's a place called Cornholio.
My sister would legit walk around the house with a shirt up over her head screaming Lake Titicaca when I was when I was growing up. So there is also a fun Google reference of the vaguely rude places map that you can find all of the places around the world that have completely inappropriate names. Yeah, Lake Titicaca is your answer for that one. Number 2, see if I can keep this together. What is the full name of the animal with excellent engineering and tech credentials? Some call him the mascot of MIT.
We had no idea on this one, so we just made up a funny name, and we said it's Harry Dick.
Ooh,
That is funny.
I believe all the things. I can't say that joke. I think the answer to this question is beaver.
MIT backwards is Tim. Some call me Tim from Monty Python, but Tim the Beaver. Tim the Beaver is the mascot of MIT.
Very industrious animals.
Give it to him.
Number 3.
Oh, yeah, they get that.
Yes, they do get it. Number 3. What is the only last name shared by 2 presidents that are not related? They are also both vice presidents and members of both houses of Congress.
Penis. I'm sorry, Johnson.
You leave BJ out of this.
Give me Lady Bird on the phone.
We also had Johnson over here.
Yes, the Roosevelts were cousins. The Bushes were father-son. Harrisons were grandfather and grandkid. And the Adams were father-son. So your remaining Andrew and LBJ were the Johnsons. Not related. Number 4. In 2017, Adam West voiced Batman in the animated Batman vs. Two-Face. What Canadian living legend and NASA favorite voiced Two-Faced? I think this is my biggest stretch one.
We didn't know, so we chose Dick Van Dyke.
It's a good guess. Yeah, we went with William Shatner.
Oh.
That NASA favorite of Mr. William Shatner voiced Two-Face very slowly, I can only imagine. Number 5. Speaking of space, what is the term for a collection of stars that sits at the core of their home galaxy?
Not super sure, but we came up with supermassive black hole because I believe black holes are at the center of spiral galaxies.
Oh, we had a lot of answers that were definitely wrong, but we locked in with No Nut Nebula.
It is shaped like a peanut. But Jeff, do you know this one?
I don't remember
fan.
this one.
Space fan.
It's called a galactic bulge.
Oh, yeah.
What?
The John
Numbers.
Holmes universe.
Yep. Number 6, your music question. Ginger Baker was the drummer and co-founder of what British rock band?
Well, we didn't know either, but I said maybe the Sex Pistols. because it had sex in the name.
That's not bad. At first, we were throwing around Hole, but we know it's a Courtney Love based band. We ended up with Cream.
Gets the points, I think.
Cream.
Yes, Ginger Baker is one of the greatest drummers of all time. He was with Eric Clapton in the band Cream.
Jeff, and
Cream.
on a previous episode, you were telling us how many holes the human body has.
Yes, I was.
Which was what, 7?
I believe so. But just check out the Vsauce video. It's like only a half an hour, but it's interesting. So
for all you
I feel
hole
like there's
fans,
gender differences there.
there are not, topologically speaking.
That's what I said.
I
said, are you sure?
We're not going to relitigate this.
From a
Yeah, what'd
math
you guys wear for
perspective,
lunch?
there is not.
Okay. You'll have to explain that to me later.
Or I can refer you to a Vsauce video, which will do a better job.
All right, fine.
Number 7. What
Speaking
Greek
of one
god
of
was
those
the
holes.
son? I was going to say, it had to be in there, right? What Greek god was the son of husband of Gaia, birthing the first round of the Titans?
I'm going to ruin it and say Uranos.
Mm-hmm.
The correct pronunciation.
Well, yeah, in the future, in Futurama, I believe they changed it to Eurectum, but I think it's still Uranus.
Great reference.
It is Uranus or Uranus. Number 8 is my personal favorite. What French founder of the realist school of fiction portrayed the panorama of French society in a body of works known collectively as La Comédie Humaine?
I believe that is Kant.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
You can't say that.
Yeah. I just thought of the funniest art name I could think of and said Balzac.
Oh, yeah. That great picture.
Nicole can have a great answer, but it is Honoré de Balzac.
Great one.
Good job, Matt.
I also knew that from The Simpsons.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Exactly. What parent company, headquartered in Pennsylvania but founded in Mexico, owns many French fresh bread companies like Sara Lee, Entenmann's, and Thomas?
We thought long and hard about this one, and we went with Bimbo.
That's a great answer. We didn't know. We just went with a local Chicago favorite, and we said Fannie Mae.
In Mexico, there is no comparative term to Bimbo. It's Bimbo Bakeries. They just wanted a word that sounded childish and sounded like youth, so they said Bimbo, and then not realizing kind of what in the English lexicon that connotation is. Number 10. So it is Bimbo Bakeries. What small fruit, your number 10 question, what small fruit-bearing tree is native to South Asia and Asia-Pacific regions, even though its unofficial capital of the world is in St. Joseph, Florida?
We didn't know, and we said prickly pear, but we wanted to note that pear is P-A-I-R.
Oh, I thought you would have known this one right away. It is one of your favorite fruits and words to say all the time. We went with the old kumquat.
I do love kumquat.
The World Kumquat Festival happens right down the street from me in Dade City, Florida. It is a kumquat.
All right, and after the swing round, things did tighten up a bit between the two teams. Men to Avoid on this podcast still has the lead at 105 points, but right behind at 100, Neal Fisher and his friend.
Your second half of the game. Question number 1, Blue Jeans. What is the name of the American television and film production company that produced the sitcoms The Building, Everybody Loves Raymond, as well as a late-night talk show who once did a top 10 list of words that almost rhyme with peas?
Yes.
That's definitely in it. I just couldn't remember the first word.
I don't actually know.
I think that's right. You want to just lock it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a pretty weird one, and I think it's Worldwide Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Love the confirmation there. That was great.
I believe. Sorry. Continue talking if you guys need to.
I think we're good with that, right?
So I believe Anne was referencing David Letterman at the end of all of his episodes. There would be the big pair of pants, and we also said Worldwide Pants.
They currently produce My Next Guest on Netflix with David Letterman. That is Worldwide Pants. Good job, guys.
Great job.
Great reference too.
Number
I haven't thought about
2.
that in a long time.
I know it's a hard one to dig up and remember, especially if you're a David fan. You know you've seen it. Your number 2 question category is sexy grammar. What punctuation mark was once called by Kurt Vonnegut as transvestite hermaphrodites that stand for nothing? All they do is show you've been to college.
Matt, I like the answers that you just wrote down, so let's go with that if you're
Because
okay.
I went to college.
Is that why you're using the Oxford comma over there?
Well, I know he had thoughts on the asterisk as well, but I think I'm thinking maybe like a semicolon.
Semicolon.
Yeah. It's too pompous for Vonnegut.
It's super pompous. Yeah, unnecessary.
Let's
Get
say
rid
the
of it.
semicolon.
Yeah.
I had some thoughts. Semicolon. We said semicolon.
Yes, the most misunderstood punctuation mark that many people don't actually know how to use is a semicolon. Number 3 question. Is math trivia? I want you to take the sum of the letters that make up the country name of Liechtenstein and the number of states within Australia. I am not including any territories. And then multiply that total by how many stars are on the People's Republic of China's national flag. The total also happens to be the racing number of Lightning McQueen.
Ken,
Let's
you
say
better
I
figure
don't
it
know.
out.
Lightning
Let's
McQueen
not
was,
bother with this.
Kachiga?
Let's not bother with the
Kachiga?
numbers and say 99.
I'm with you. Let's do that. I love that.
So we had to multiply the letters in Liechtenstein with the states in Australia.
We're not going to do any
plus,
of that.
I mean, times. Yeah, okay.
I recommend you pick a prime number.
So there's someone somewhere between 1 and 20
Well,
stars
based
on the
on
flag
that
of
swing
China.
round, I think we should go with 69.
Okay, I like that guess. That's a
That'd
nice
be
guess.
great. Having cars is number 69. Yeah, we'll just say 99 because we have no
Pixar,
idea.
we've made
You're
a few
very
changes.
close.
98,
95.
95.
Hmm? Jeff knows his Lightning McQueen. The Liechtenstein,
Wow.
Liechtenstein, has 13 letters. There are 6 states within Australia. And it's actually known by another name. It's the flag of China is the 5-star red flag, so it has 5 stars. And that number is 95.
Cool.
Nice job, Jeff.
I didn't do
You
anything.
knew the Lightning McQueen
Well, no, I knew there were 5
because
stars.
he's got a
on 6
large
states.
collection of Cars toys.
I'm a big fan of Western Australia, South Australia.
I have seen
Victoria.
your
Other Australia.
I have seen your bed. It is a Lightning McQueen bed. And every time I get into it, I go, wow.
Wow. Well, that's for other
How
reasons.
often are you getting?
It's that old galactic bulge.
I was one of those kids though. When I was young, I did have a car-shaped bed. It was a Ferrari Testarossa waterbed.
Well, that's why you are the way you are. Okay,
Yeah.
we can move on.
Number 4, Wikipedia biography. Name the character based on the 3rd sentence of their Wikipedia page. Often characterized as an elderly spinster, she is one of Christie's best-known characters and has been portrayed numerous times on screen, including in the 80s by Angela Lansbury.
I'm
Reluctant.
just going to give this one to Neal.
As I say, this might be a softball for Neal.
Answer
it's a
he wrote.
softball for me because I know Neal and he talks about it. Do you have a stab before I reveal?
No, I actually kind of got turned around and listening to the question a little bit.
I believe
so
this is
if you know.
this is Agatha Christie's probably second most famous detective, Miss Marple.
Oh, right. Okay.
We agree, Miss Marple.
I wasn't sure of how many Miss Marples you had actually read, but yes, that is her name. She is the secondary, besides Hercule Poirot, detective in Agatha Christie novels, Miss Marple. She has 12 books in her series. I think Mrs. McGillicuddy Saw is one of the most popular
Right,
ones.
which in America is
Number-
450, or in England is 450 from Paddington.
And
Oh, yeah.
P.S. I love the idea of the third sentence
Yeah,
of
I
a
thought that was a
Wikipedia
cool idea.
bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, by their Wikipedia
That'd be a
bio.
great just
That's
full
fun.
game.
That is a great category I can steal and have a plethora of options to do. It's very easy to write. Number 5, it's a listener submitted question again by Josh Cobert, my Kitten Mittens teammate. Which American city gave Saddam Hussein the key to the city for donating $500,000 to the local Chaldean church? Although I bet he would have preferred a key to a Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're locked in.
Awesome. So, I don't know. Thunderbird is a car. Cars are made in Detroit and Flint, Michigan. So I would go with one of those.
True. Let's do it.
Do you want to go with
Let's say
Detroit or Flint? Pontiac Thunderbird?
Pontiac, Michigan? Is that what we're going with?
Oh, is that a place? Good
It
to
is.
know.
Pontiac is.
It's up to you. You choose between those three.
Oh, it's too much
I don't know.
pressure.
And you're wearing
I'm not positive if Pontiac makes Thunderbird. I think so, though.
And Nicole's wearing
No.
a Detroit T-shirt.
Jeff says no. So let's go with.
I am wearing.
Be
go with
more
Detroit.
impartial,
Let's
Jeff.
Let's go with Detroit.
Let's do it.
Matt also wrote down Pontiac, but I said Pontiac doesn't make the Thunderbird. Ford does, and then we said Detroit.
Oh.
Ford does make a Thunderbird. The church serves the largest population of Catholic Iraqis outside of the Middle East, and did not know where Nicole was from. It is Detroit.
Kismet.
It is
Didn't
Detroit.
help me a lot.
We have the
I was gonna say you were gonna kick yourself if you didn't get
No.
it.
All right, and both teams got 40 points in that round, so the margin is still 5. New scores are 145 for Men to Avoid and 140 for Neal Fisher and his friend.
Your number 6 question is back in the world of Simpsons Academia, which were basically my science questions today. In the episode Bart the Lover, Bart has to watch an educational film where Jimmy stupidly wishes for a world without what element? At the end of the film, Jimmy wakes up realizing it was all a dream and says, "Thank goodness I still live in a world of telephones, car batteries, handguns, and many things made of what element with the atomic number of 30?
So I'm trying to remember the quote from the episode, and I think it's like a mundane sort of element, not something that's widely regarded as important, which kind of improves the joke. But I don't know, maybe like phosphorus or something like that.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right,
Let's go
we'll
with
go
that.
with phosphorus. I think there might be phosphorus in
phosphorus.
televisions and gunpowder too. So
I think it's used more in the metal linings of some of these things. I believe it's a world without zinc.
At the end of the educational film, Jimmy tries to call his girlfriend, and his dad, who just is reveling in his anguish, goes, "Ha, the rotary mechanism doesn't work. There are no phones." So Jimmy responds, "Dear God, what have I done?" Takes a gun out of the drawer and puts it against his head, but it doesn't fire. And then the dad laughs again. "Think again, Jimmy. The firing pin is, you guessed it, zinc." That's good old zinc.
good poll, man.
That is funny.
The best and worst thing they've ever done. Number 7, your obligatory sports question. On April 29th, 2022, the Mets threw the first no-hitter of Major League Baseball season, only the second in the history of the team. I want you to give me either the pitcher who pitched the first no-hitter in Mets history, or how many pitchers combined to achieve the feat in 2022. So there were multiple pitchers that did the no-hitter from 2022. So you can give me how many pitchers did the true unicorn of the no-hitter, or the first pitcher who pitched a no-hitter in Mets history.
all right, I'm gonna once again give you the gif of Bugs Bunny saying no.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I realize this is 2 baseball questions in a
We
game. I should have
will
mixed it up more.
Do a number guess? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say 8.
Oh, 8. Okay. Yeah.
I think, Matt, you wrote down Oral Hershiser, who
Yeah.
I know was on the Dodgers, but also was on the Mets.
Yeah, and he has a funny name.
Was Koufax on the Mets? Sandy Koufax or Donald or Seaver?
Tom Seaver was.
Seaver. Okay, so I do like Hershiser. I can't even say his name.
Hershiser.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it's between 4 and 5 on the number of pitchers.
Okay.
I just saw this.
Okay.
I think it's 4.
I like going lower just because it is a pretty big
And
feat.
I'm not sure about the first one. So I think we have a better chance at a guess at this. So I think it's the starting pitcher went like 6, and then they had the 7th and 8th, and then the 9th was closed out.
That makes sense. And when I was a kid, I had a baseball card of Oral, and he always looked to me like a guy from the 1950s who was a science teacher. In
really
grammar
good
school.
glasses.
Yeah.
That's a big aside there. So yeah, we're locking in with 4.
And we said 8.
With 159 pitches and 6 walks, Tyler Miguel started it, and 4 additional relief pitchers. So it was 5. Your Oakland 5. And in 2012, the Mets had their very first no-hitter with Johan Santana. It was the very first time they had a... That's crazy. Yeah, I should have put the smooth pitcher. Missed opportunity.
Neal's joke was so funny
Number
to him that
8.
he snort laughed.
Because I do not like that song. I had to play it so much in band in high school. So yeah.
Your number 8 question category. I'm leaving. What Motown Records R&B family group from Atlanta were the last musical act featured on The Ed Sullivan Show? The lead singer would later appear on an episode of 30 Rock, asking for the group to please stop singing. Hello, I'm trying to take a nap. What's going on out here?
But we don't know.
I don't know. And then she said, "What's going on?" But it's definitely not
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. We'll lock in with an answer.
The Jacksons.
The Jacksons.
Tito and the crew.
All right. I have about the same amount of ideas that sounds like these guys have. Do you have an idea?
Me too. No.
Family group?
What about?
Would it be the family name, or could it just be like a... here's a vocal group, The Persuasions.
The Persuasions?
Yeah. But I don't think that's right.
Great. It's a good guess.
They're like active now, but...
Well, these guys were definitely a family because they're brothers, and I know that they were a Motown act, so we said the Everly Brothers.
It's a musical scene of Midnight Train to Georgia on 30 Rock, and at the end of it, Gladys Knight comes out and basically tells them to please stop singing. She was with the Pips for 37 years before going solo. That is Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Mean. I wouldn't.
Your number 9, and yeah, if you haven't seen the Midnight Train to Georgia skit with Kenneth, please. It's great. Stephen Fairly Approved is your number 9 category. What brand of soap, now sold by Colgate-Palmolive, with ad slogans including "fresh and clean as a whistle" and "smell like you're worth exploring," originally came in only Ulster fragrance? That's ULSTER.
Yeah.
Okay, we're locked in.
These guys know their soap.
Good for them.
Ulster. I don't know what that is.
Ulster? I don't know either. It's like Old
Irish
Spice.
Spring.
Irish Spring, maybe. What are Dove? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the soaps.
Irish Spring has a different slogan, but that's the best one I can think of. With like a specific scent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you think of another soap brand that has like a specific scent?
There we go. Let's do it. We're locking in with that.
So I thought Stephen Fairley was a reference to Green Book,
Really?
and green made me think of Ireland and Irish Spring, and that's what we locked in with.
Stephen Fairley is actually the real name of the wrestler Sheamus,
Who is also
who,
Irish.
reminds me of Irish people. Yes, your "smell like you're worth exploring" and Ulster fragrance. Ulster is a city in Ireland that is Irish Spring.
Great job.
Wow.
When she was
Well done for
when
both
she was
of
saying
you
like
of
the
accidentally getting there.
conglomerate name, it reminded me of the like 30 Rock, NBC, Universal, Shineheart Wig Company, like
Oh, yeah,
mega
yeah.
corporation.
What does a
nonsense.
town smell like? Is what I want to know.
Smells like Irish Spring.
Fresh green grass, I guess. I think they have like 9 more scents now, but they didn't really branch out into anything that makes more sense. Number 10, Watch Out, They Spit. Who holds the record for the most amount of material produced for a Disney character, recording over 16 hours of ad-libbed dialogue, all of which is protected from ever being released to the public until at least 2042?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Or until Disney can re-extend what they mean for copyright, like they keep doing.
Like with Mickey, they're trying to get Mickey Mouse into public domain right now.
Oh, watch out, they spit.
They
I
should.
believe is a line from Aladdin referring to a camel, but llamas also spit, and David Spade voiced the llama emperor.
But Robin Williams
Robin
seems like he would
Williams?
maybe just riff for a long time.
That's true.
And they would have like extra footage of
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure
probably.
couldn't stop him from riffing. I like your answer better. Let's say Robin Williams.
Okay.
I think he actually inspired Gilbert as Iago, kind of with the riffing. So
Yeah, and Robert Williams in Good Morning Vietnam, all of his morning newscasts were all improv.
Yeah, he only agreed to do the movie if they wouldn't promote it as Robin Williams is in this movie, and then every bit of advertising was Robin Williams is in this movie, so that's why he wasn't in the second one. But yeah, I'm 99.99% sure this is Robin Williams.
Matt is completely correct. They weren't allowed to merchandise his voice, and they did anyway. So there was a huge rift between him and Disney until he returned for the third one. Dan Castellaneta was actually the voice of Genie in the second one. But in his will, he told Disney they still could not release any of the extra ad-lib footage from the vault until 25 years after his death. So that's why it's protected till 2042.
Wow.
Got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
at least there's something.
Yeah.
I needed something.
What are the scores?
Well, actually, very interesting the scores are. I don't know why I
Okay,
did-
Yoda.
So I have been watching Star Wars, and I just built a Star Wars Lego, and
Yeah.
the new Star Wars Lego game is out. So yeah, I'm
It's
not
got that
surprised.
star in the brain.
Yeah, but there has been a lead change. Leading for this entire game, Men to Avoid has slipped into second place going into the final
Okay.
round
Okay, come on.
with a score of 165.
Come on.
But Neil Fisher and his friend with a narrow lead of 170.
All right, thank you.
Right before we give it to Anne, just wanted to say one more big thank you to all our Patreon supporters for helping us get past 450. Anne is a Patreon supporter. She had one of our Dutch Boy posters, and along with her, you can get so much more audio content than you get every week that we release every Tuesday. Jeff, we do a lot of fun episodes. What else can people look forward to at Patreon?
Aside
That's it.
from our bonus episodes, we have character boxes, we have Triviality boxes, depending on your level of support, exclusive access to our Patreon feed. I will say the selection, and very, very good with the Dutch Boy poster, because they're not very popular,
'Cause we
and I
have lots of
don't
them.
think we're ever going to order them again. So if
Limited
you want
edition
yours
Dutch
now,
Boy.
yeah, we're going to restock some of the other styles, but I don't think we're ever going to restock that one. So now's the time to get your Dutch Boy poster if you want one.
And I'll even say from this point on, if you request a Dutch Boy poster, I will just put a cryptic clue on the background that is almost like a treasure map, and then it won't lead
Oh,
anywhere.
and you can meet up with the other Dutch Boy holders,
I
and
thought
you
you
put
were
it
going to say
together.
like the Zodiac Killer.
but it's all like the wooden shoes and everything, clogs on the back, whatever they're called. Yeah,
Yeah, you're really good at being a Dutch Boy.
he's not here today.
He's not
Okay.
here today. You know who's here though? Dick. What was his name?
Dick Gutley, everyone.
Dick Gutley.
Be on the lookout for those Dick Gutley posters.
The poster does elicit a lot of weird questions from my coworkers at work.
Oh, good.
As
That's
it's
They're like,
supposed
what is-
to.
that's the point.
What does that mean? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
Well, even we don't know what it means.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So what are these categories for our final round here?
Your final categories are going to be sporty, baby, ginger, scary, and posh.
With that, the wagers are locked in. Let's go ahead and get the questions.
Your sporty question. From what sport did hockey borrow the term hat trick for a trio of goals, where in the 19th century, a player would receive a club presentation of a new hat for accomplishing the feat? Your baby question. The Social Security website has been calculating the most popular baby names and posting the rankings since the year 2000. Matthew was listed as third overall in the year 2000 and has since dropped in popularity. Within 5, where is Matthew currently slated on the 2021 top 50 most popular baby names? Your ginger question. What brand, around for more than 100 years, is the best-selling ginger ale in North America, but came under fire in the last few years for not actually containing real ginger? Your scary question. What country has headless Skondahakatas, that's Skondhokatas, ghosts resulting from train accidents, Considering this country has the fourth largest national rail system in the world, transporting 8 billion passengers annually, that's a lot of ghosts. But thankfully, they're easily outwitted because of their lack of eyes. Posh. At this year's Met Gala, Blake Lively made headlines with her Statue of Liberty-inspired transforming dress. What future portrayer of Andy Warhol also went viral by intentionally dressing as half a set of long-haired twins and unintentionally manifesting a doppelganger?
All right, those are the questions. We'll be right back with as many answers as we can. And we're back with our answers. Can you read the questions one more time and we'll see how we did? We wagered 0 on sports and 30 on everything else.
Yep, and we wagered 30 all the way down.
Your sporty question. From what sport did hockey borrow the term hat trick, where in the 19th century a player would receive a club presentation of a new hat?
I said I had heard an opposite or a different tale of how the hat trick came into being, but we didn't know, and we also didn't wager. So we said
cricket.
Cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is if you want to know what cricket is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're familiar with the hat trick on 5 to 9 with Dick Gutley. He doesn't like a hat trick.
Yeah.
But what did you say, Matt?
Originally you're thinking soccer, but I was thinking for a sport with more pomp and
Circumstance?
Yeah, on occasion. So we went with cricket as well.
And the answer that I have is cricket, but I'm curious to hear Ken's origin story.
I heard that maybe I don't remember what player, but he went to a hat shop in the city that he was visiting, and the hat guy said, "If you score 3 goals, I'll give you a free hat." And that's what I heard.
Makes sense.
Maybe he was still a cricket player.
Maybe.
We can't.
Your baby.
We can only pay you
Go ahead.
$5 today, but we'll give you that spiffy new hat as a bonus.
Your baby question. Matt has basically been on the top 10 baby list since I was born, because I know at least 25 of them. So in the year 2000, it was third overall. But within 5, where is Matthew currently slated on the top 50 most popular baby names?
We said 15.
I actually was looking up baby names recently, and I was astonished to find no Matthews. But then I realized there's no famous TikTok influencers named Matthew right now, so I understand why it's so far down. So we said 45.
Ooh, no points. It's 36.
Ooh.
It's still 36. The correct way to spell Neal dropped out of the top 1,000 in 2002, but it was 888 in 2000. Kenneth is 258 currently and peaked at 94. And Jeffrey is 425 and peaked at 104. So y'all have very popular baby names.
I
Except
can't
for
believe
the
mine is
the
the
right way to
second
spell
most
Neal.
popular.
Ken?
How
I
about the
believe
wrong way to spell Neal? Is that pretty high?
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's still being used.
Number 1 right now,
Your-
Skylar.
Yeah.
Is
No,
it?
no,
I thought it was still
I have
Liam.
no idea.
I think it's
Liam?
Liam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one's huge too.
Brooklyn. Very southern
7.
name.
How about 7?
Ginger.
Apple.
What brand, around for more than 100 years, is the best-selling ginger ale in North America?
Do you want to explain our reasoning here?
What was our reasoning?
Schweppes,
She would not.
Schweppes is far too old to say it's over 100 years old.
Schweppes is far too old, and no one drinks Verner's outside of Detroit, so we went with Canada Dry.
Yep. My grandpa actually used to drive a ginger ale truck for a while, and we said ginger ale. No, we didn't. We said ginger ale. We said Canada Dry.
They got sued about 5 years ago because ginger is not listed in their ingredients, so they've made a huge, apparently, campaign to include real ginger in it. And Verner's is actually, in my opinion, the best ginger
Yep.
ale. I think
Agreed.
it tastes phenomenal, but you can't get it
Agreed.
anywhere outside of Michigan. But it is Canada Dry. Canada Dry. Your scary question. What country has headless Skondohokatas ghosts resulting from train accidents, the 4th largest national rail system in the world?
We just said that the language of Skanda Hokatas, right? Did I say that right? Sounded maybe Hindi, so we said India.
Oh, that we thought that it sounded more Nordic based on the SKO at the beginning. So we were in a different part of the world, and we said Norway.
They originated as just like dumb headless ghosts and bogs, apparently, that were really bad at teamwork. But then with the invention of trains in India, that is the scary ghost story at train stations that they have. Your posh question about the Met Gala. Blake Lively made headlines with her Statue of Liberty dress, but what future portrayer of Andy Warhol also went viral, intentionally dressing as half a set of long-haired twins and unintentionally manifesting a doppelganger?
Not super sure. We picked somebody with long hair already and said Jared Leto, and we could see him dressing up for the Met Gala.
We had a fun little moment while we were doing this in the other room. I said I loved Blake Lively's dress. It was really beautiful. And Jeff said I love Blake Lively's husband, and we both shook hands and agreed.
That is the correct answer.
So we guessed Jared Leto because I'm pretty sure, if I remember my trades, that he's going to play Andy Warhol. So that's what we locked in with.
I don't think any of you are actually fans of this actor, but that is indeed Jared
I like him more
Leto.
for his music. That's not true.
He dressed, he twinned out with his Gucci fashion designer. They wore the same outfit and both had long hair. But then there was apparently a completely different person that was in a very space age costume at the Met Gala that everyone thought was Jared Leto because he looked just like him. So he was misrepresented throughout all of the Twitter land as Jared Leto when he is in fact someone completely different.
Oh, Jared.
Final scores are in, and I'm proud to say that Men to Avoid, with a score of 225, is this week's cream of the crop.
We master crap.
200 points only to Neal Fisher and his
Only
friend.
200
Wow.
points. Terrible job, guys.
You guys did great. But Ken gave me this look when I was drawing out the 5-point difference earlier, so I cut right to the chase.
Thank you.
Usually, we go the other way. We talk about
Yeah,
runner-up.
you usually do. That's usually how it goes.
I
yeah.
kind of prefer the way that the score was announced off mic, where Nicole just said quietly, "Did we win?"
And then there was also
was a
quiet, yay. I think your reaction was the most appropriate for anyone who's ever won on this show. It was celebratory, but not overly so.
Yeah. Because show her what she won.
Nothing.
Well, she has some
I was
pre-orders.
promised money.
Well, Nicole, your prize is your final comments today. Thank you so much for being on the show. And Men to Avoid in Art and Life is coming out soon, correct?
No, Men to Avoid in Art and Life
That's out.
is out.
It's out. So look
Yes.
for it
It's
now.
in the
In
stores.
fact, I have it in my hand right now.
We were
It's
physically
right there.
holding it.
The follow-up is coming out in September.
Awesome.
Friends to Keep in Art and Life.
Yeah. And where can we find this besides online?
Pretty much any like indie bookstore you go into should have it. Like Paper Source has it. It's in very odd little gift shops. Museum gift shops have it, which I find to be very interesting.
I think that would look very good in a Urban Outfitters also.
It is in Urban
There you go.
Outfitters as well. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Nicole and Anne.
Thanks for having
Great,
me. It was fun.
Great hosting job. Love the questions. Love that we won. But any final statements from you?
Thank you guys for having me. We heard of you originally from Trivia Warfare,
Good folks.
and I did a Lay It On Me, I think, of your wrestling, and that's almost exclusively what we listen to is Triviality, and then I'll listen to Trivia Warfare on the side with my sleaziness. It's mainly because of the wrestling, though, that you guys worked your way into his heart of those polls that you can do sometimes. But I loved it. I appreciate the opportunity to hear my own voice, and I hope I can come back again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, we'd love to have you back, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you once again, Anne, for being a Patreon supporter. You can join her at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. Make sure to check out Nicole's books and follow her on Twitter at Nicole Tersigni. Follow us at Triviality Pod. You can reach out to be on a game at our links on all our socials to sign up to do that. But for today's episode, thank you to Matt, Ken, Jeff, Anne, and Nicole. My name is Neal. And you're welcome. That was Triviality.
that song, but it is Rio by Duran Duran. Celebrating its 40-year anniversary, and Duran Duran was just elected into the Hall of Fame
About
after
time.
10 years of fan voting.
Low bar.
I love them.
I could be wrong, but I think they just released a new album too.
They did. They sure did.
Because I was
And
like, I'm gonna listen to some Duran Duran. So I pulled them up on the app or whatever. I was like, they have a new album.
New release.
You know
Like,
who else
no
has a
thanks.
new album?
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears.
That makes sense because you came in today and you're like, I'm hungry like the wolf. And I said, why are you saying that?
Yeah.